Welcome everybody, Retro Python, showing off that Dreamcast Mini again. Great little product, made from a cell phone charger of all things. Make sure you pick one up on eBay and modify it. Um, some modifications, I ripped out the control panel ports, which were blank, and replaced it with USB-A. Cut a little hole in the side for a memory card, make it easy to swap it out. Added a mini micro HDMI port in the back. It's a great product. Let's boot it up. I know you guys have been eager for this theme, so remember it's a big card, 512 megs. Gonna take you a good 7 hours to write this thing. So it took me so long. A lot of backing up, a lot of restoring, tweaking, fixing, breaking. That's what we do here, right? Hopefully you'll like it. If not, what can I tell you? Beautiful Dreamcast logo. It's going to come up. We got some background music. I think it's from SMR Racing. You could remove that if you want. It's in the RetroPie music directory. We're going to go scroll through it and see all the games we have. Maybe stop along the way, play one or two, 3 or 4 maybe. A lot of games, a lot of Japanese, a lot of imports, everything with jewel case art. I tried to create the settings the same as the Dreamcast menu. Give it that little cloud watery effect. Updated graphics. Over 600 games in this. A lot of imports. They never stopped making games for the Dreamcast, it seems like, when it died in America. So, not sure what most of these are. Remember, Windows CE Dreamcast games will not work on RetroPie. Any version of the emulators just doesn't work. So I would say this collection is probably maybe 80 to 85% working. I haven't overclocked this. Maybe I should try. The case is real small, so I don't know if there's going to be heat issues. I did cut a hole in the bottom of it and put a fan like half in, half out so the air can flow. So maybe overclocking will help a little bit. Some of the games, some of the more 3D type games, sound cuts in and out. Let's pick a game here. We'll do an import, maybe a 2D game. Fire Pro Wrestling. Fire Pro Wrestling is a great series of games. I think they started back in the NES. They have pretty much a flavor for each device that came out: Saturn, Dreamcast, PlayStation. Fire Pro World is available on Steam. It's Japanese, so they don't really abide by the copyright laws. So pretty much you'll have all the current and future stars. Let's get a quick match going. There's translations of this online. Let's pick a little Dave Hebner. Let's make the difficulty low. So there's tons of guys in there, hundreds, and there's tons of templates to create guys. WWF, WCW, Kane, Benoit, Jericho, Angle. Let's pick the Taker, old school Taker. Can we fight? I think Hogan is in free. Let's fight Hogan. There we go. Let's go old school Hogan. It's a timing-based game. It's on a button masher, so once you get the rhythm, you can string together pretty fun matches. Great with 2 people. Long time ago, I created a guide on how to put your own music in a game when you rip it. That's a long time ago, 20 years. I mean, graphics aren't bad. 20 years old. I mean, people are a little goofy looking, but it's not terrible. This is more of a kind of like a SNES sprite-based game. Nothing crazy. It's a Taker. Does want to come out? Alright, let's just skip this. We don't need to see Hogan coming out. Let's just get to it.
Fight!
Nice size characters. See if I can bust Hogan up with a bunch of his punches. What was cool for the Dreamcast is this game in particular is that Dreamcast had that modem, and you could actually they would come up with like new moves and wrestlers, and you could download them. I remember them coming out with the Worm, Scotty Juhade, so you could add it to his character, and they added a bunch of moves. And it really was ahead of its time if you think about it, 20 years ago.
Give up!
It's been a while, I don't remember the buttons. So we can get them. Let me yell it. This series is everything the acclaimed WWF series should have been. Those games never really amounted to anything. Generic theme sets. First one, they even have finishing moves.
Give up! One. Break!
Big suplex from Taker. Alright, let's see what else we got. Could wind up playing this game all day long if I wanted to. Highly addicting. There's actually a championship road too, where you can go through and win the belts, tag team belts. Six-Man Scramble's a great game for the Saturn too. If you got a Saturn. If Saturn ever worked on RetroPlay, I got a nice system for that. But let's move on. Let's see what else we got. So lots of games, like I said, 600 games. You see all the Japanese. Jewel cases have the spine art, which was kind of fun to do. It's just literally I use a program called I Am Batch. Works great for graphics. You could add overlays, and each jewel case is essentially just an overlay of the 2D box art. And if it's a PAL game, it's got that blue spine. The NTSC games are either white or black, depending on what that front is. It's kind of how they worked it for the Dreamcast. Lots of games, lots of imports. Like I said, I don't know what half these games are. I don't know half of them work, but at the end of the day, you'll have a Dreamcast collection with 600 ROMs in it, and do what you want with it. I think some of the NFL games work. One of them doesn't. It's kind of slow. Like you'll see, I'll show you a sports game later on when it switches to a 3D type, overlay, like overview. Kind of audio gets choppy. Again, I don't know if overclocking will fix that. I haven't overclocked this. It's not set to overclock on this ROM, on this image. So whatever you do, do it at your own risk. Another weird thing with this image is I had to flip box art, flip it horizontally and vertically to get it to show right. So if you look at the media file, let's try Res. Res is a great game. If you look at the media file on the card, the artwork is not going to look right. Same thing with the RetroPie icons. No matter what I did, still emulation station developer, his branch is still kind of clunky. And I think I got a PlayStation Mini that I built during the pandemic. I think I'm going to try to create a front end for that with Pegasus and see, and then maybe revisit this. And I have a bunch of those minis. I created a Tower of Power. I was quite bored during the pandemic, like we all are. Just took the time to kind of play around. So this is a great game. It's like I think it's about like a computer virus. It's very Space Harrier-esque, Star Foxy. It's a lot of fun. Graphics are great. I'm in the middle of modding my real Dreamcast to the HD. So I can't wait to see this on the HD and big screen. But it's a fun game. It's like I said, it's very Star Foxy. But not one lag in this. I mean, there's nothing really going on. I have no idea what any of this is. I need to shoot things. I actually got a bunch of these Dreamcast cases. If you guys are looking to do your own, they're on eBay. It's just a cell phone charger case, no modifications to it, unopened. So if you guys want to check out the listing on eBay, it's the same price you'll get it anywhere. Just I don't even charge you shipping. I just got a bunch of them back when. I think I have like 26 of them. So if you guys are looking for them, hit me up. We'll work out a deal. And then you just take a little time, a little patience, and you can turn it into a RetroPie machine, Dreamcast Mini. Working buttons, memory card slot, German 4 joystick ports. It works great. The only thing it's missing is the Sega logo on the front. But I'll link to I'm going to be building a tutorial on how to turn that case into a Mini. I got to do one for a friend, so I'm going to put this up on Arcade Punks, and then I'm going to put my TurboGrafx theme up, and then I'm going to play around with my real Dreamcast. I got the mode, and I got the HD DC mod. Working on a PS3 mod, and got a lot of things going on. But I will eventually get to a tutorial how to turn those chargers into a fully functioning Dreamcast. Let's try a first-person shooter. Another thing about the first-person shooters on a Dreamcast, and way back when, if you remember, a Dreamcast only had one analog stick. Now I'm using an Xbox One or a X control. I think maybe a One. It's a One. So there's two analog sticks on that, but of course only one works because that's all the Dreamcast had. So it takes a little bit to get used to. Your hand automatically wants to go to that second analog stick to move up and down. But there's actually a button. You have to hold the X button to move forward, which, if you played GoldenEye lately on an N64, it's just really hard to get used to after being trained all these years later to kind of play with the two analog sticks. I have a save game. We'll get right into the middle of the game. I use Flycast for most of the games. Some games, it's the same game. Most of the games run fine. Like I said, you'll get a little audio issues, and then, if you want, Redream and go back to the, go back to Redream if you want. Redream is just, it's not a core, so it's kind of clunky to exit and whatnot. So I prefer to use a core just because it uses that standard controller type and whatnot, and controls that we're all used to. But after the loading screen comes, you know, the CD spinning, if you just mash the A button, you'd be able to change it. Yeah, there we go. No game. So it's a little bit getting used to. I mean, this game. Oh, that's gonna hurt a little bit. It's a pretty cool game. You know, if you've come a long way, but you know, my son says, "Oh, it's like Fortnite." Well, kind of. Different. But why I'm missing it there? Kind of go up on it. Oh, see, I tried to use the second analog stick. I gotta remember to use that button. So, I also gotta tweak the controllers in retro. Or I don't know what controller you're gonna use, but if you play this on a real Dreamcast controller, it's so smooth. I don't think it's the Xbox controller. It's more of an emulation of it. I don't know if there's some kind of setting or tweak or threshold you can adjust, but I'll have to play around with it. I think there's a bathroom up here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. This game's not too violent. It's good for a nice Sunday morning stroll.
Stop screaming!
Oh, well. That's only a mark. Guess I'm out of shotgun bullets. I don't know how to switch guns back. I'm a terrible shot. Good thing he is too. What's in there? Alright, let's try something else. Yeah, you can see that little stuttering when the image comes back. I don't know if that's... I don't know if they're still working on Emulation Station Developers Mode. I've heard they're not. I don't know. I would love to add sound as you scroll through, like a little tink, 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 tink. Let's try one of those sports games. I'll just keep going scrolling. You know, Tomb Raider unfortunately doesn't work. I know the first one doesn't work. That's a Windows CE game. Sega Rally's a Windows CE game. So some of the good ones are Windows CE games that won't work anywhere. Let's try Virtual Tennis. I'll show you what I mean about the sound stutter. Each game has one of these loading screens. I think originally I had it at 12 seconds. I cut it down to 6, but the loading of the Dreamcast game still takes a little bit, I think. Why? That's me just showing you that you could go through and, you know, change the emulator if you want just by mashing A. Start to finish, I think, you know, from clicking the game to getting this logo is maybe 10 seconds. It's a fun game. The virtual tennis games are always good. I love it on my PC and my Launchbox system, the Techno Parrot version. Great game. Just kind of, it's not very difficult. It's essentially Pong. It's what we all started on, right? So you can see a little stutterness in the 3D graphics when it does like an overview. The gameplay's great though. The controls are great. This guy's gonna match left and right. Go. Maybe not one stutter. Background music's got a little stutter there. Oh, he's done. I don't know if I'm just really good at this. This guy is just terrible.
Game 3. First game. Moya, who serve?
Let's see if I'm good on the top side. Yeah, we'll start. What I find with the Dreamcast, a lot of the problems is the sound. Is the sound stutters. Images and graphics seem to kind of move, and then sound kind of stutters a little. You'll find that in the NFLs when it does the kickoff and takes it over through the coin toss. You'll find the stuttering. And, if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't bother you. Alright, let's put this guy away. Right here. See what happens. Yeah, you see the stuttering there. And once you're in the game, smooth. Oh, what happened there? Man, I'm just blowing it up. What the? Oh man. Maybe that first guy just stunk. Oh my god, I missed that. I'm terrible. Got too anxious with that last one. Oh, that was out, right? Ugh. Alright, I could play that forever. Alright, so let's just finish scrolling through this, and like I said, it's going to be on Arcade Punks. Link will be in the description. I'll upload it now. It's going to take you 8 hours to load this. It's a big card, 512 gigabytes. 600 plus games, all the art. Back at the top. Thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe. Look for my TurboGrafx theme next week, hopefully. Happy gaming.